Hello, everyone. Welcome to JSCM Impact Conversations. We are so thrilled to be with you because we have a really special guest today that will explain to us the importance of communication, engagement, and impact in the context of climate change. I always love putting things in a context, and I will explain briefly why we are here because today is actually quite difficult to talk about things that are really important for the ecology and also for the society. Ecological justice, social justice, these are really important concepts, but they are not only difficult to explain, but also quite challenging to communicate, also difficult to be perceived in a really honest way. So misinformation is rife, and we are realizing that actually not all the information out there is authentic, scientific, and robust and honest, but also we're aware that there's greenwashing. But as opposed to greenwashing, we are also realizing there is something called green hushing, whereby people simply don't talk. So it is getting really difficult to separate good actions from bad actions. But in the midst of everything around political turbulence and this chaotic world at the moment, it is important for us to talk about climate change in the context of supply chain management and global economy. And I couldn't think of a better person to talk about this than my friend Andrea Grieco. Andrea, welcome to the show.
Hi, nice to meet you. Thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you to all for your time to watch this interview. I'm very happy because it's so I'm just in a situation, very relaxing situation, talking about you about a very important topic. And the reality who live today in every part of the world. So I'm very happy to be there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Andrea, for your time. And before we delve into the questions, I also wanted to break the ice. I wanted to say you are such a positive person, and I think positivity and authenticity are what really important in today's conversation around climate change. So I appreciate your work and everything you do in the space. But before we start with the questions, who are you? I want to give a bit of information about who you are, and then I will leave the microphone to you. But Andrea is actually a very positive person, but he is using his scientific background to make a change in the world. He is his background is environmental science, but also he is really driven by social justice, and he combines climate change with social justice issues, and he is mobilizing people and communities. So Andrea is a communicator, and he is an impact disseminator. So we have so much to learn from his strategy. So follow Andrea on LinkedIn, on Instagram. So he is really engaging and critical ways of explaining things and also bringing together people. And in a context where most of the researchers conduct climate change related research, and most of us do supply chain research, I wanted to discuss with you how then we can bring our research to different stakeholders, but also how can we inspire and challenge policymakers so then we can actually catalyze a radical change for everyone. So, Andrea, again, thank you so much for your time. Let's go with the first question. I wanted to ask you because you are doing so much to really bring together people and mobilize different stakeholders. I wanted to ask what communication strategies have you found most effective in engaging communities and mobilizing all of those stakeholders to say something about climate change?
So the communication about climate change had a very difficult story because starting this type of communication starts from scientific report, scientific languages, but this type of language it's very hard to understand by the people for people, and the situation is okay. We still talking about climate change with a very difficult approach, with a very difficult languages and communication. but people don't know about the real and the reality and the real situation. So the most effective strategies to talk about climate change include transparent and accessible communication, include education and promotion of initiative that directly involve the communities. It's very important when we talk about climate change, human rights, social justice. So to talk with a positive approach, because the situation is very bad, but we have a power. We have a lot of people around the world who dream about a new world, a new situation, a new positive situation. So we have a very big power in our hands. So it's important to start thinking about people, thinking about communities, and so put people in the situation of understand the big picture of the world. The world it's very hard to understand today because we have a war. We have two big war in the world, two big conflicts in the world in this time. We have a very difficult geopolitical situation, but we have a lot of people who fight against climate change. We have a lot of people who talk about human rights, for example, in Iran, and etc. etc. So it's important to use a very simple language to explain this concept, to explain this situation, to talk about these people, and to making people aware of the impact of daily action in the on the planet. And so I think it's important also to redefine new languages, because we need to have a positive communication. We need to have a more open communication, and also we need also to study more the data to understand the climate crisis. So um, when we think a new project, okay, a new project in fashion, in sustainability, so a new project in general, it's important to fix in our mind the people, the citizen, the communities, because we have a very big concept in the climate policies that's called responsibility. So we have the south of the world who don't create the climate crisis, but suffer more for the climate crisis. So we have a big responsibility to help these people, and also to think a new so a new approach to development, a new approach to urbanism, to cities, to consumption, to food. So it's all. So it's all. So the life it's all, and sustainability. When we talk about sustainability, we talk about human rights, and we talk about the rights of planets. So that's all.
Absolutely. Wonderful. No, Andre, thank you so much. This is really inspirational. And what I like about your content and your messages always on social media is actually you make it really clear and engaging. And you used a really important word, education. So we need to educate ourselves, but also we need to educate ourselves with the people. And you say something really important. We can't separate social justice from climate action. they are actually integrated and they're intertwined, which is also quite difficult to explain because everyday normal people don't necessarily have all the information. And also information is just so crowded and so big, so also scientific research is quite difficult to understand. So we need to really filter it down to a digestible amount in a really clear and again engaging way. And also, you said something really important. You mentioned language several times.
Yep.
We need to really create a new culture around the new language, not on behalf of everyone in the planet, but actually we need to create this language with them. So then actually we can use also their terms rather than imposing our terms onto them. I think this is also really important in our communication around climate change. We don't necessarily understand what everyone else know in this space. We just really try to insist and impose and somehow shoehorn our constructs to their realities. But as you point out, we have so much to learn from them to create this new taxonomy so then things can become more inclusive and more holistic.
Mhm.
And bringing this concept of language back to the conversation, my next question to you is then how do you engage with the policymakers? So, on one hand, you are mobilizing communities and you are educating them, you are creating movements with the young leaders, with activists, but then how do you bring this collective voice to the actionable policy to somehow influence what they are doing? And you are quite active in the policy front, so I wanted to learn from you. So then how can we learn from you to bring our research to the policymakers in the most effective way?
So the starting point is providing data driven information. So the data driven information. We put the data driven information at basis of the talk, at basis of the climate talk, and we need to demonstrating the economic and social benefit of climate policies. It's very crucial because I live in Italy, and in Italy we have 3 years ago we starting talk about in the constitution text of the states of the country. We put the sustainable development and climate policies, thinking about the new generation. It's important to start thinking about new policies, new type of policies, because the new policies today they need to think about the future generation. It's crucial because if we don't talk about the new generation, the future generation, we use the planet like I don't know, like a bank, and like money, and so we for the future generation we don't have more future, so we don't have more planet, we don't have more soil, etc, etc. So engaging public opinion and creating social pressure, it's another instrument to encourage policymakers to take action. We need to talk. We need to occupy in peaceful approach the spaces. We need to talk about the human rights. We need to talk about the planet rights, because policymaker we are for the policymaker the situation today it's not so good, but also the policymaker had a very big power, and it's important for us to speak up.
Uh,
uh, so
Thank you so much. And you say something really, really important. We shall not see the natural resources as commodities. At the same time, we cannot see human resources as commodities. We are dependent on one another, but we have to stay together and we need to stand in solidarity. And before we actually start recording the session, Andre and I, we were talking about the importance of collaboration and social dialogues. So researchers, scientists, activists, we are all in this together. So we have to stay together, and we are complementary, and we shouldn't see ourselves in different isles or like the different polarized units. We cannot be in isolation, so we should stay together. And last but not least, I also wanted to mention Andrea is a voice against greenwashing, and he has been awarded by the Greenpeace Italia. So congratulations, Andrea. But
Thank
your
you so
work is
much.
really, really, really important. So you need our scientific research. We need your activism to engage with the people. So we are in this together. And so let's make this call for an action for everyone to come together, to stand united, and to show solidarity to one another to create a better place for everyone.
Thank you.
Andrea, would you like to add anything else before we go? Any final inspirational thoughts to our scientific researchers or anyone else that is watching us?
So I think first of all, thank you so much for inviting me. But I think the most important is think about that we are not alone, because we are a lot of people around the world talking about human rights and climate change. We are a lot of people also who want to know that we are other people in the other part of the world thinking about this situation. So don't stop to dream more. So a more positive world, a world without human rights violation, and with equal right for all. So stay strong and work together, because we are not alone.
Absolutely. It's a great message. Never stop dreaming. Andrea,
No,
thank you
never.
so much. Thank you so much. Grazie mille. I will see
Thank
you
you.
soon. And thank you everyone for watching us. So we will see you at the next episode of Impact Conversations. Until then, stay with us and I will put all the links below. So please check Andrea's work and get in touch with him. He's just wonderful. So please enjoy. And I will see you very soon. Andrea, thank you very much. So
Thank
bye
you.
everyone.
Bye bye.